Welcome to Base Camp Online. We are so thankful that you chose to take time out of your day to join us. You know, when we shout out, we can do some things either negatively or positively to help people. All month long, we're learning to shout it out with gratitude, letting everyone know how thankful we are for what God's done in and through our lives and through people all over. Today, we've got some amazing things that we're gonna learn. And we're gonna watch a guy dance because he's excited about what God's done. You know, you and I can use our bodies in many different ways to help people or discourage people. I think there's a lot of gestures that some people use, like they go, meh, and that's kind of a bad gesture, discourages people. Or if we give them 2 thumbs up, people know, hey, we're moving forward, we're encouraged. Or if we say, you can do it, we're using our voice and our words to help people move forward. Or sometimes it's just that smile that helps people know they're appreciated. All month, we're learning about gratitude. We can use our heads, our hearts, our mouths, and our hands to help others. Let's kick off Base Camp. Well, welcome to Base Camp. We're gonna do our countdown. Are you ready to count it down with me? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Base Camp and welcome Base Camp Online. We're so thankful you're back with us and we're shouting it out. I mean, today we're gonna stand up, we're gonna shout, we're gonna use our voices and our bodies to let everyone know that we're excited, grateful, thankful for what God's done in our lives. Are you guys ready to join me in our first song of the day? Here we go, let's sing together.
Praise
gratitude to everybody around. And this month, November, is all about giving thanks. Or our one word, which is what? Gratitude. And we're kicking it off this month, helping us understand what gratitude looks like. And you and I, last week, we learned you always have something to what?
Be thankful for.
To be thankful for. And you and I, we can look around at all the different things we have. We've got Walmart, we've got Target, we've got Burger King and Chick-fil-A. And you know what? We've got a mom and dad. And even if you're not living with your mom and dads right now, you have caregivers that love you so much that they want to help you understand the goodness and greatness of God in our lives. And God is always there to listen to us and to help us move forward. Today, we learned something so amazing. Here's our bottom line. Celebrate what God has done. Can everybody say that with me?
Celebrate what God has done.
Let's do it so loud that if you're on Base Camp Online or if you're down here with us, your moms and dad can hear you wherever you are. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Celebrate what God has done.
That's right, and we are here to celebrate what God has done. And today, Mrs. Dollison comes up to teach us an amazing story about what God has done through a man named, I have to keep it secret. You're gonna find out because he does something so silly that someone teases him. But he can't contain what God's done in his life, and he just can't help but live it loud. Let's see how you and I can learn to live loud the gratefulness, the gratitude that's inside our lives.
Where does gratitude start? With your words? Oh, hold on 1 second. Hello? Oh, thanks. In your head? What about your heart? Being thankful includes all of those things, your heart, your head, and your words. But I think gratitude truly begins with your eyes. It starts with paying attention, stopping to see the people around you and all the other beautiful things in your life, like the way your dad buttered and cut your toast just the way you like it. That crossing guard standing in the pouring rain to make it safe for you to get to school. The way your kid brother can turn even cleaning your room into a party. Your fingerprints that God designed for you and no one else in the whole world. That amazing, breathtaking sunset on the way home from dance class. When you truly see these things, it changes your heart. The words bubble up in your mind and you can't help but say thank you. The more you remember to thank God and the people around you, the more others can see God at work in you. And that's why gratitude is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
Wow, what a great lesson. Thankfulness comes from what we think, our head, that influences our heart that's inside here and comes out of our mouth. So that must mean, like, when I have those negative thoughts, like there's negative things that go on here and then influences my heart, and then the words come out of my mouth. But when I have the positive thoughts, the right thinking about who God is, what he's done in my life, what he's done in our world, and that he loves us. And even though sometimes the skies can be gray, or they can be sunny, it can be warm or it can be cold, God is always there. And knowing that God is always there and that he always loves us no matter what's happening, that allows me to shout out praises and thankfulness to him. Which leads us into our next song. Can you boys and girls stand up and sing with me? We're gonna shout out a song of thankfulness to God. Here we go.
Everywhere that I go, you're there with me. Even in the night when I cannot see, and kindness, for grace that is endless, love and forgiveness. I wanna say thank you for mercy and kindness, for grace that is endless, love and forgiveness. I wanna say thank you, thank you. I will live my life to praise you, and lift you high. Every night and day I'll follow in your ways. I wanna say thank you, thank you. I wanna say thank you, God. I wanna say thank you, God. I wanna say thank you, God.
And all of you out on Base Camp Online and Boys and Girls and Base Camp Live. You guys are doing an amazing job singing today. Singing praises to God, saying thank you to who? Him. And how many of you out on Base Camp Live or Base Camp Online can remember our bottom line? We're shouting out. Say it to me.
Celebrating God.
You are so close. Amazing. Our bottom line today is this: celebrate what God has done. Let's all say that together. 1, 2, 3.
Celebrate what God has done.
That's right. And you guys did a great job. I mean, God has done some amazing things. You step outside at this time of year and what do you see? Trees with some of the most brilliant color leaves all over it. Red and yellow and orange. And some of them even have a little bit of green still mixed in. And they're falling from the sky. And in just a few more months, you and I might see snow. Maybe we'll have a white Christmas. Man, you know, God is awesome in the way that He's made creation. There's lions and bears and tigers and birds that fly. And the birds can't help themselves but sing. They celebrate what God has done all the time. And they're a reminder to me and you that we're to be celebrating God all the time.
Every time I'm feeling down, you pick me up. Sing, oh, oh. And when my heart is feeling emptied out, you fill my cup. Sing it out now. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. Yeah! T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. Here we go, verse 2. I'm grateful for the way you've been a friend to me. Sing, oh, oh. And even in the deepest, darkest night, you help me see. Sing it out now. Oh, oh. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. Come on. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. For the joy that you give to me, for the way that you made me free, for my friends and my family, I just wanna say, for loving me from the start, for every beat, beat, beat of my heart, for everything you are. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O, you thank you. every beat, beat, beat of my heart, for everything you are. I just wanna say.
You know, for some people, it's super hard to celebrate by dancing. Sometimes it's easier when we know the song. Other times, it just makes us feel a little awkward getting things out. And for some people, it's really hard to celebrate what God has done because they look around at other people and they're more concerned about what they think than what God thinks. And today in our Bible lesson, we watch the guy who dances not care about anyone else except for the one person that matters the most, and that was God. And he was so excited that what God had done, he couldn't contain it. He celebrated what God had done. What's our bottom line today, boys and girls? That's right, and you and I are gonna celebrate. Our one word this month is what? Gratitude. Gratitude is letting others know you see how they have helped you. Let's do that together. Gratitude. Letting others know you see how they have helped you. And here are our good friends, the Haggis brothers, back to show us what it looks like to have gratitude. Let's all say that together. Gratitude. Letting others know you see how they helped you. Let's do that one more time. Gratitude. Letting others know you see how. Great job, Basecamp Live and Basecamp Online. I hope you all are learning so much. I love watching the Haggis brothers every week. They are so funny, and they help me just remember the one word of our month. And this month, we have a Bible verse. It's from Psalms chapter 136, verse 1. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Think about that. That's something to have gratitude about. God's love endures, not just yesterday or today. It endures forever. That means it's never, ever ending. That's amazing. He loves you and I so much. And that's something we can be thankful for. Or we can show others that we have gratitude. We can celebrate what God has done. Let's say our bottom line one more time. Celebrate what? And it is so important for us to celebrate what God has done because he's done so much. And you and I need to be aware of him and practice that he is present in our lives. That's something to shout out really loud, to live out in our lives. Well, we have our good friend Erica. She's here to share with us the introduction to our Bible.
With some fun, fresh fun ways to show gratitude. Gratitude is letting others know you see how they've helped you. There are so many ways to let someone know how grateful you are. You could give someone a shout out with your hands. Woo! You're awesome! You can send an all caps text message. You are awesome! You can use the ancient art of flag semaphore. Go! You! But my favorite way to show gratitude is through song. No matter what you do, I should be thanking you because you make me happy. I look pretty cool, right? Let me see that back. No matter what you do, I should be thanking you because you make me happy. Because you make me. Is that what I look like? How embarrassing! Never showing gratitude again. In today's story, we'll hear about a time when King David showed gratitude in a really big way, and he wasn't even a little bit embarrassed.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how he created us and loves us so much that he made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6, verses 12 through 22.
After many years of war and uncertainty, David had finally become the king of Israel. But something was still missing from the royal city of Jerusalem.
The Ark of the Lord belongs here.
The Ark was a wooden chest that in some special way carried the presence of God among the Israelites. It had been stolen by the Philistines and then returned, and now it was sitting in the home of a man named Obed-Edom.
We'll set up a tent right here for the Ark. Let's go get it.
David's wife, Michal, was, let's just say, less than enthusiastic.
The dust on those back roads takes the curl out of my hair.
So David gathered up all his best soldiers and marched over to the place where the Ark rested.
This is a wonderful day. An incredible day. An absolutely fantastic day.
With great care, the men lifted the heavy Ark with carrying poles.
Wonderful. Excellent. Let's go. That's one step closer to Jerusalem. 2, 3.
Are you seriously gonna count the whole way?
Wait. Stop.
We've only come 6 steps.
That's okay. We need to thank God for everything he's done.
Right then and there, David sacrificed a bull and a calf to honor God.
Okay. Now we can move on.
1, 2, 3. Lift!
Just walking isn't enough. We should dance for God.
The ark's kind of heavy.
Everyone else, if you're not carrying the Ark, celebrate, sing, shout, blow the trumpets.
The people shouted and ran alongside the Ark. David danced before the Lord all the way to Jerusalem. As the laughing, shouting parade arrived, Michal stared in disbelief from a window. There was her husband, the king, dancing in a simple linen garment with all the common people.
Unbelievable. He looks ridiculous. Certainly not like a king.
Down on the street, David continued to dance all the way to the beautiful tent he had set up.
Everybody behind me, let's dance. Okay, keep on moving. Now, let's switch it up. Time for a breather. Let's put the ark right here.
1, 2, 3, down.
David made more sacrifices to honor God. Then he stood before the people.
The ark has returned. God bless you. He is the one who rules over us all. He deserves our thanks for everything he's done. So let's keep celebrating. We've got some fresh bread and dates and raisin cakes for everyone.
Though all of Jerusalem had turned out for the festivities, one person still refused to celebrate. When David returned home, Michal met him furious.
You're the king of Israel, and you've really made yourself look good today, right? Dancing around in that thing?
A linen apron. It's what the priests wear.
But you're a king. You made a fool of yourself in front of all of your officials and even the servants.
I did it to honor God. He made me ruler over his people.
I can't even.
I will celebrate to honor the Lord.
You already said that.
Oh, I'm not done. I will bring even less honor to myself if it will bring more honor to God.
What is that in your beard?
Raisins. You want to do the electric slide?
No.
While Michal cared more about appearances than anything else, David fixed his gaze on God because he knew nothing was more important than celebrating, to thank God for all the amazing things he'd done.
King David wasn't embarrassed to show how grateful he was to God, and it didn't matter who saw, because David knew that honoring God was more important than honoring himself. So he danced! He sang, "You make me feel like thank you for being you. You make me feel." God had done so much for David, so thanking God must have felt like a party. And maybe he sang, "Oh, yeah." I'm not embarrassed. You know why? Because God made the universe. God made you and me. And God made it possible for us to have a relationship with him when he sent Jesus to die for our sins. We should be celebrating with our hands. Woohoo! With semaphore flags. You are amazing. You are incredible. With singing and dancing and praying, shouting it from the rooftops. We should be celebrating God any way we know how, because that's the one thing to remember today. Celebrate what God has done. And if someone asks you why you're celebrating, tell them! Sometimes telling people about God is the best way to show him you're grateful. You make me feel like that, yeah. I want to thank you for being you. You make me feel like that, yeah. It's really, really true. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Scott, if you'll go over here to the Army base and get your artillery, and Captain Alex, if you'll go get your artillery, we're going to divide right down the middle here, okay? This side, this side. Now I have 2 rules. Listen, 2 rules. You can't touch another child or person, okay? Can't touch them. You cannot cross this middle row right here. Can't cross it from this side to that side, okay? Now, you understand? Because once that happens, I'll have to stop the battle, okay? So, you all got your artillery? Oh, I'm sorry. It's here right here. These just pass one. Yeah, no, just pass those out, one to each other. I don't want to get too wild. Yeah, at least one. Okay? So now I want this side to stand up, face this way. You can come up to the line, but you can't cross it. I need this side to stand up and face this way. You got it? Okay. All right. Are you getting your artillery? Because when I say go, okay, we're going to start in our story, and it starts in 2 Samuel. Listen. And 2 Samuel is in the Old Testament. Okay, there's 1 Samuel, there's 2 Samuel. Okay, because my captains are in charge here. Okay, remember. Okay, so when you do battle, there's a lot of fighting, right? Yes. And lots of arrows flying and swords. Okay? And we can shout. There's shouting in a battle, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me go. When I count to 3, let's start our battle. 1, 2, 3, go! Pick them up and throw them back. Pick them up, throw them back. Okay, battle's over. Battle's over. Now, listen. Look on the floor on your side and count how many arrows you have on the floor. And this side, do the same thing. Okay, just count.
20. Not one bullet on. There's only one bullet. We only have on our side. Yay! How many do we have?
You have 20 over here?
Yeah.
How many's over here?
200.
All right.
200.
Well, that's a good battle. You all had a great battle. Thank you, Captain Scott, Captain Alex, for
They have 200, they said.
maneuvering your troops. Okay. Now give those arrows back to Captain Scott, Captain Alex, please. And then go have a seat. Okay, quickly. We'll have a seat. Good morning, online. How are you all today? Okay? Guys, moving back up here. Okay. Now, are you wore out after that battle?
No.
Well, after all this fighting, finally, David becomes king of Israel. Okay? And when he took the throne, he noticed in his living area, I can't think of the word. Anyway, he notices there's something in his palace. He notices there's something missing.
God.
No, not God, not the Bible. But we're going to find out. It was the ark. Now, we're not talking about a boat. We're not talking about Noah's Ark or anything like that. We're talking about a different type of ark. It was Mr. Steve, can you bring that up? Thank you. See it up on the screen? It was a wooden box. It was a wooden box chest, and it was covered in pure gold. Okay? And then in that box, it had the 2 tablets of the 10 Commandments. Remember that when Moses was given the 10 Commandments? That was in that box, that chest. You notice the gold rings on it that's holding the poles? Okay. And it had other special things inside it too. But it was very important to David and the Israelites because in some special way, that ark represented the presence of God to the Israelite people. Okay? And when they had the ark, they knew that God was with them. Now, in previous battles, unfortunately, the ark had been captured by the Philistines. How many of you have heard about the Philistines? Right, it was captured. And David wanted to bring the ark back home to Jerusalem. And thankfully, God's people did get the ark back, but it wasn't in Jerusalem. And he wanted God's presence in Jerusalem because it was the capital city, and that's where David's palace was. And God's people could celebrate and be thankful for what God had done for them, and they could worship God. Worship Him right there. Okay, now, how can we celebrate and pray? I need one volunteer. Right here. Okay, let me show you. Everybody else can stand up. We can take our right arm, move it to take your left arm, move it here, raise them up over your head, bring them down. What are we doing? Praying, yes, okay. So David had heard that the ark, you can sit down now, thank you, was being kept at a man's home, and this man's name was Obed-Edom. Obed-Edom. And it had been in his home for 3 months. So David decided, and he'd come up with a plan, that he was going to go and get the ark and bring it back to Jerusalem. And since this ark was in this man's home, Obed-Edom's, he had blessings. His family was blessed. His whole household was being blessed by God. So wherever that ark was, it was blessing people. And so he was pretty excited about his plan. So he built a huge tent, a big tent. It was similar to the tabernacle. And he built that just for the ark. He was going to bring the ark home and put it in that tent. And so he gathered up some soldiers. Okay, everybody stand. How do soldiers do? Do they march? Let's march. He built him, he got some soldiers. Okay? And he marched to Obed-Edom's home. Okay? Now, I need Mr. Scott to pick me 4 people plus 2 more. Somebody tell us 6.
Plus 2 more. Me. 2 more? Yes.
Okay, well, come right up here with me. I need to give some instructions, okay? Okay, let me see. Can you be David? Will you be David for me? Okay. And you? Who wants to blow? Who wants to be a trumpet blower? Okay, you be a trumpet blower. The other 4? Okay. So now David has his soldiers, and they're going to Obed-Edom's home, and they're going to get the covenant of the ark and bring it back to Jerusalem. Okay? So march over to there, to Obed-Edom's home. March over here. Okay? Got it? Now, who's my David? Okay. Now, here's my Ark of the Covenant. Okay. Now, I need 4 people. 1. Okay, right here. Right here. Touch the pole right here. No. Just the one end. Just this one. This one. I need 2. I need 1 more person over here. Are you David? I need someone besides you right here. Oh, Ben's David. Okay. Now, turn this way. Turn that way. Turn around. Just hold it with 1 hand. Okay. Now, raise it up to your shoulders. Okay. Now, you can touch the poles. You cannot touch the box. It's God's rule. You understand? It's very important to God. Okay? Now, I need my David here. Your David. You are going to lead them back to Jerusalem, and you're going to be shouting and praising and thanking God, twirling, whatever you can come up with, okay? Sylvia, you're going to be right behind him, and you're going to be blowing the trumpet. Oh, okay, then you take her place. All right. Okay, now let's bring the Ark of the Covenant back home, guys. Miss Turtle, celebrate. You're David, celebrate. Blow your trumpet. Okay, bring it back home. Don't touch it. Okay, let's lay it right up there. Set it right up there. Thank you. So now the Ark of the Covenant is home. And David was so excited and thrilled that he was able to do this, that his plan was able to be done. Okay, just sleep. Go have a seat. Sleep right there.
Then why is there Nerf gun?
Yeah.
Where's
Okay.
the Nerf gun?
Now,
Where's the Nerf guns? Over there.
and okay, so he stopped and he danced in the street. He stopped the whole, we didn't do that, but anyway, he stopped the whole procession. He couldn't contain it any longer. He was so happy, he was so grateful, and he was so excited that he started dancing right there in the street and praising God and celebrating. And so he danced, and even in 2 Samuel 6:14, it says, then David danced before the Lord with all of his might. That means he danced with everything that he had within him. Shh. He danced with everything he had in him. And he wasn't wearing his kingly robes either. He was just wearing a just regular clothing with kind of an apron over top of it, like this right here, an ephod. Okay, so he wasn't in his kingly clothes. So anyway, he was dancing. Well, he danced the whole way back to Jerusalem, all the way. And other people joined in with him. Okay, are we listening? Okay. And they helped David. Of course, we saw that. They helped him carry the ark. They blew their trumpets. They celebrated. Well, there was one person who wasn't very happy about that, girls. There was one person that was not happy at all the way David was acting. And she saw them out the window. And she got really mad when she saw it. And what she got mad about was because he was just wearing simple clothes and not his royalty, his kingly clothes. And so, and she thought he looked really ridiculous. Just downright ridiculous, the way he was acting and the way he was dressed. But David continued to dance, and he danced all the way to the tent where he was taking the Ark of the Covenant. And he was so happy that, in giving thanks, he passed out food to everybody. He gave them bread, he gave them meat, he gave them raisin cakes, he gave them a whole meal. And they could take that home and eat it. The whole works. Well, the party did end. And the dancing ended. And the people went back to their homes. And so David went back to his home, to his family, and his wife, Michal, or Micaiah, however you want to pronounce it, was there. And she was just like this. She probably just was standing there looking at him like, what in the world has happened to you? Have you lost your mind? And, oh, she was mad. She was ready to let him have it. And she says, you are the king of Israel. What are you mean doing out there in the street, dancing in regular clothes just like everybody else? You're the king. What do you think your servants think of you? They're going to lose respect for you. They're going to think you've lost it. And David said, I just couldn't help myself. And I didn't care what people thought about me. I was so happy and thankful to God that I wanted to worship Him and celebrate Him. And he told her he just didn't care what people, if they thought he looked silly. So, and he wasn't dancing for them anyway. He was dancing for God. And he was worshiping God. And so he said, I did it to honor the Lord. And in 2 Samuel, verse 21, he said, it was before the Lord who chose me instead of your father, Saul, and all of his house to appoint me ruler over the people of Israel. Therefore, I will play music and I will celebrate and be thankful. So, one thing we need to remember from this story is that David only cared about one thing. He wanted to celebrate what God had done, and he only cared about what God thought of him, not other people, just what God thought about him. He was thankful for the way that God had helped his people through all the wars and all the battles over the past years. And David had been a mighty warrior before he became king. And he wanted to be thankful by helping them and allowing David to be able to bring the ark back home to God's people. So, the bottom line is, boys and girls, and online, we can celebrate what God has done. He's done amazing things. Even in your lives already, He's done amazing things. You all probably can think of things He's done. And that includes you and me. He's done miracles in our lives. He's helped us. And I know He's helped every one of us in here, okay? Including Kara and Sylvia and Claire and everybody, okay? And so let's just pray. Let's just bow our heads and pray right now. Thank God. I need everybody to bow your heads. Kara, I need you to bow your head. Sylvia, everybody, okay. I'll pray when everybody's got their heads ready to bow, okay? God, we thank you so much for the example of David that he gave us today in our story. He didn't worry about what others thought of him. He only worried about what God thought of him. And he wanted to only celebrate God. So please help us, each one of us, to do that today and the rest of this week as we go to school, as we play outside, play with our friends, or go to our sporting events or wherever. And just remember of all the amazing things, help us to remember that you've done in our lives, dear Lord. And remind us to say, thank you. We love you. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
You know, there's so many different ways that you and I can celebrate what God's done. Sometimes it's the words we say to other people just by saying, thank you. I appreciate it. You can keep on going. Some of us, we're not great dancers. But you know what? Just moving and grooving and doing what we can helps us to other people know that we're celebrating God and what He's done in our lives. And when someone comes by and sees you they're like, what are you doing? I'm dancing. Why are you dancing? Because I just want to show everyone that God is great. God is good. And although right now some things might be super confusing because for you, Basecamp Online or Basecamp Live, you've been watching your mom and dad watch the news, hear some funny stuff, or maybe you haven't been able to go around some of your friends because you're still needing to stay home, be online, and social distance from everything around. And it can be hard to see what is really good. But you know, when we look in his Bible, look around, we can find good things everywhere. And you know what? When I begin to thank God for giving me life, breath, food, a house, clothes, shelter, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, man, the list is endless. And then I begin to celebrate what God has done. That helps other people keep going for God. Basecamp Online, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna close it down here on Basecamp Online, and we're getting ready to move forward in Basecamp Live. Catch you later, same time, same place, right here on their YouTube channel, Basecamp Live. See you later. Bye-bye.